The clock ticked. Emma tapped her stiletto heel, a sharp staccato against the polished marble floor. Twinkling lights from the cityscape below painted the room in a kaleidoscope of colors. It was New Year's Eve, and the city was a symphony of excitement. But in this luxurious cage on the 20th floor, the silence was deafening. He was late, again. John, her husband, the man who promised her the world, was conspicuously absent. The champagne in its crystal flute had long gone flat, a metaphor for their evening. A knot of anxiety tightened in Emma's stomach. Where was he? The clang of the suite's door snapped Emma out of her musings.
Darling, you look stunning.
He breathed, leaning in for a hasty kiss. His lips brushed against her cheek, cold and impersonal.
You're late, 2 hours late.
I know. Work, darling. You know how it is.
John mumbled, fumbling with his cufflinks. His eyes darted around the room, avoiding hers. He crossed the room in 3 long strides, his charm offensive in full swing. He poured her a fresh glass of champagne, the expensive vintage sparkling under the chandelier lights.
To us.
He toasted, his voice raspy with forced cheer. Emma raised her glass, a forced smile on her face. The room was filled with laughter and chatter, but she felt isolated, her mind racing with doubts. His words felt hollow, devoid of the sincerity that once drew her to him. She remembered the days when his voice was filled with warmth and genuine affection.
To us.
She echoed, her voice barely above a whisper. Something was different. The connection they once shared seemed to be slipping away. John, despite his attempts at normalcy, was a tapestry of nervous tics tonight. His usual calm demeanor was replaced by an unsettling restlessness. The way he kept checking his phone, as if waiting for a message that never came. The way his eyes darted around the room, searching for something or someone. The way his smile never quite reached his eyes. It all set off alarm bells in her head. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong.
John, is everything all right?
He stiffened, his smile faltering for a moment. The mask he wore was slipping, revealing the anxiety beneath.
Of course, darling. Why do you ask? His voice wavered slightly, betraying his unease.
Emma opened her mouth to speak, but the words caught in her throat. She wanted to confront him, to demand the truth, but fear held her back. Could she voice her suspicions? Could she risk shattering the fragile peace they had left? Could she bear to hear the truth? The weight of her doubts pressed heavily on her heart, leaving her in a state of turmoil. The elevator hummed as it ascended to the top floor, its mechanical rhythm echoing John's racing thoughts. John smoothed down his hair, adjusting his tie in the polished reflection, trying to mask the turmoil within. A wave of nausea washed over him, a physical manifestation of his inner conflict. He hated this duplicity, this constant tightrope walk between 2 lives, each step more precarious than the last.
John.
The penthouse doors slid open, revealing a vision in white, a stark contrast to the darkness in his heart. Sarah, his wife, stood bathed in the soft glow of fairy lights, her smile radiant and welcoming. Their Christmas tree, a magnificent fir, sparkled in the corner, adorned with ornaments collected over the years. The aroma of cinnamon and pine filled the air, creating a warm and festive atmosphere.
Happy New Year's, my love. I thought you'd never get here. I've been waiting all evening.
She threw her arms around him, her laughter echoing through the spacious apartment, filling it with joy.
Happy New Year, Sarah. You look stunning tonight.
He hugged her back, the guilt gnawing at him, a silent reminder of the secrets he kept hidden. He showered Sarah with the attention he couldn't muster for Emma just moments ago. He presented her with a diamond necklace, the pendant sparkling like a teardrop.
It's beautiful, John. You shouldn't have.
Only the best for you, my love.
He fastened the necklace around her neck, his fingers lingering on her skin a moment longer than necessary. He went through the motions of their evening, the gourmet dinner, the champagne, the countdown to midnight. But his heart wasn't in it. The guilt was a lead weight in his stomach, pulling him down. Every shared laugh with Sarah felt like a betrayal to Emma. The joy that once filled the room now felt like a heavy burden, a constant reminder of the lies that had woven themselves into the fabric of their lives. Every loving glance, every tender touch was a lie. The moments that should have been pure and genuine were tainted by the shadow of deceit that loomed over them. He was living a double life, and the weight of his deceit was crushing him. Each day, the facade he maintained grew heavier, and the cracks in his carefully constructed world began to show. As the first rays of dawn painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, John stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows of Sarah's penthouse, his heart heavy with unshed tears. The beauty of the sunrise was lost on him, overshadowed by the storm brewing within. The city below was waking up, oblivious to his internal turmoil. People went about their lives, unaware of the emotional tempest that raged within him. He had built his life on a foundation of lies, and he knew, with chilling certainty, that it was only a matter of time before it all came crashing down. The scattered papers around him were like the fragments of his fractured reality, each one a piece of the truth he had tried so hard to hide.